right, Greg, it's Monday. What is everybody working on this week here at the Guild?
Well, we have a 1978 Corvette that we are starting. We're doing AC work on. We're doing full interior work. We have a little bit of floor work to do on it. And we're upgrading all the brake calipers, and we're upgrading the brakes as well on this one.
It's quite a classic, huh?
It's a neat car. The gentleman's put a lot of work into it so far, and we're going to be finishing up. We've already pulled the interior out of it, and we're going to be putting new carpets and door panels. And
I know some people whose car that they drive looks like that.
Yeah, this one had to come in here to get torn down like that. And then we have 1969 Chevelle 396 that we are getting ready to put the motor back into. It's been pulled out. It's been resealed, painted. Manifolds have been coated.
Oh, look at that Vanna white.
Yeah.
Very nicely done.
Yeah, Ron's our Vanna. And frame, suspension, and everything else is being redone on it as well. So we've already put control arms, repainted all the front frame and cross member, and now we're ready to put the motor back in. We've also redone the brakes, put a new master cylinder and a booster on so that once he gets his go back in there, he'll have stop. Oh, yeah, well, I think we might end up with more dry rot. So we also have our Alfa Romeo Junior, 69 Alfa Romeo Junior. It's just actually being finished up. We have a few touch-ups to do on it. And this was a complete restoration, interior, motor out, unit. So everything is just going back together on it. We're just getting ready to give it its final buff and polish and touch-ups. And then it'll be sent back home, which is probably 3,000 kilometers. We also, on this week, we are working on, this is an Iltis. This is a vehicle from the Army that they used to use. The customer that owns this one has brought it in for basically just maintenance. We're redoing brakes, we are redoing clutch and some heater hoses and getting it ready for him to take out and cruise around this summer in.
All right.
It's kind of a neat unit because it's a lot of Volkswagen. I mean, it's a Volkswagen motor and transmission, and what they've done is they've modified it to this military style vehicle, and they use these for quite a few years, and they're pretty good, pretty bulletproof when you figure out that system that they have on it. So just upgrades and
makes sense for a military vehicle to be bulletproof.
Yeah, exactly. Except, yeah, not bulletproof in that way though. And
the Delahaye.
Yeah.
This one is just a work of art.
Yeah, the Delahaye is beautiful. I mean, the French coachwork on this one is something else. And this is all a lacquer paint that's all hand rubbed and buffed and polished back up. All the chrome work is being done on it. The upholstery, we just have a few little things left to do upholstery wise. And then we're going to get the wheels back on, which they're being painted and getting ready for their new tires to go on. And then it's going to go outside. It's going to go for a ride.
I'll be real sorry to see this one leave.
Oh.
Say that.
Well,
Now, this is a car.
yeah, that's a car and a half. That's a car and a half. And, you know, when you look at the coachwork on this one for the year and you look at the design, you see what's the difference between this and, say, a car of the U.S. in the late 40s and early 50s.
Got that new car smell in there.
Yeah, that's
It's not a new car.
No, that beautiful leather smell in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like you open it up and it is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. So the guys worked really hard on this, and it's been a long time coming. So a few little things left to go on to it. It has signal indicators that have to go in, and then wheels, tires, and it'll be back on its own wheels again.
Right. What else?
The other stuff will be out back. because the other stuff
Well,
we
we
got.
Corvette here. Is this all done?
This is done. Yeah.
We'll wait for
Yeah. This.
that summer.
Yeah. This is. Yeah. This 61 Corvette is beautiful. He brought it in. We did a little bit of buffing on the paint. We've redone all the chrome or the bright work on it. All the stainless steel's been taken, all the dents and bangs out of it. It's been polished, put back together. It has a completely rebuilt motor and transmission in it. Everything's put back so that it looks like it did when it came out of the factory. We didn't do a whole lot of extra stuff on this one, but it's motor, transmission, getting the brakes up and running, doing the steering so that he can get out and enjoy it for the summer. It sat in his garage for quite a few years without running, and we did door seals, window seals, roof seals, got everything ready to go so that he can get out and just drive it, get in it and go.
I'd be afraid to drive it.
Oh, no, I drive that one anywhere. So just watch your...
Now we're going back to the labyrinth.
Yeah. So we have our 81 Trans Am, which needed the front nose piece repainted. We buffed out and blew in the rest of the paint and just buffed it out. It is the gentleman's owned this one for quite a while. This one again, we did the rag top, which this was not a factory rag top. What happened with these ones is they purchased these cars brand new, took them down to a place where they cut the top off and made the rag top for them, because GM did not offer this car in a convertible this year. But these ones were made. They did frame extensions underneath and made the car solid enough to put the soft top on. We put the new honeycomb wheels on it, so they're the right era for these. Brand new set of BFG radials on it. Give them nice handling. The motor and transmission have been out, detailed, put back together. This one is a 301 V8 turbo, and this was an option on these cars at the time. And little V8 turbo gave it a little bit more horsepower, but than just the standard 301. Or you could get a lot of different options for motors this year, and that was a pretty cool option, really. This one's going home soon too. It's just, yeah, the Big Bird.
Yeah, I saw it being repainted.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then we have this one here is a 68 Firebird. This one was a complete paint. Right now we're just waiting for the seat covers to show up for the rear of it. For the back seats, we still have them out, but this was a complete body and paint, and we upgraded the seats to a Pro Car style racing seat. Gives a little bit more support. If you notice, there's hand controls in this one. The hand controls, the gentleman that owned this had a spinal cord injury, and we've also added AC to it so that he can regulate his body temperature better. And the bolstered seats really help him stay in that position so that he can get out, drive it, and enjoy it, take it to some car shows.
Extra level of complication on this one.
Yeah.
But boy, what a beaut.
Yeah, and then, we put power windows in it as well, so that he doesn't have to try to reach across and open the power windows, or the manual windows. And we've put all the controls in there for him to make them easy access for him. So because the way you brake and gas on this one, because when you put the buttons in on the door, which I'll show you again. So this is what we put in to control the windows up and down, okay? Mm-hmm. But this is the brake. So when he's holding this brake with his left hand, to put the driver's window up and down is a little bit hard. So we wired in another one in his console so that he can hold this down and just reach down and put his driver's window up and down if he wants to. Wow. So we just did a little extra things like that to make it a little bit more drivable for him, make it more enjoyable. Gets out and he can get out and enjoy it. He's quite the character, and he loves his Firebird.
Who wouldn't?
Oh, dream car.
This is my second favorite.
Yeah.
What a beauty.
51 Pontiac Chieftain. Yeah, it is. It came in over a year ago, well over a year ago, and we had painted it, did some interior work, some transmission. We upgraded his transmission, upgraded his rear end, and then he took it home and drove it for the summer. And then he decided there was a couple other things he wanted, so we brought it back this winter, left it with us, and we added some mirrors for him. The other mirrors that were on it were a clamp-on style mirror, and you couldn't see much out of them. So we've added mirrors to it. We've done a couple little upgrades for him as well. And then we had a couple of blow-ins and different things with some stone chips and just a little bit of wear items from driving it for last summer. So now it's just about ready to go back to him. We got a couple little things to do and a full detail on it, and then it'll get sent back. No. Speaking of cars they don't make,
Wow.
Here's 20 some odd feet of Lincoln.
This is like a car that was on the Flintstones and bullhorns on the front of it.
Yeah, this is a 72 Lincoln Continental. It has 460 V8 in it, which we've detailed it out, done a few little upgrades on it, and we're just going to get this thing ready to go home as well. It has a new vinyl top on it, which is got to get out in the sun and get it seasoned. Interior wise, we did a little bit of work on the interior, got it the carpets, and did the door panels, a bunch of little things on it really. Put an 8-track player back in it, and yeah, and this is a steering wheel, and most people can't find the horn button on it.
Where is the horn button on it?
The horn button, it's a rim blow.
Pardon me?
It's a rim blow. So what you do when the battery's hooked up, which it's not right now, you squeeze on the inside like this, and that sets your horn off.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was a thing of the early 70s. We have a few of them that come in. The Fords were famous for it. We have actually a Mustang here of about the same era that has the same rim blow steering wheel on it.
Now, you throw in some 8-track tape for the hell of it?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Some YMCA, some Village People. Yeah. Disco Duck, you know.
Oh, Rick Dees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So it's, this one's just getting ready to go back as well. Just a few little things to finish up. Springtime is a busy time for getting these cars out of here. And we always have ones that are coming in this time of year too. But, over the winter, we get these ones fixed up.
Can you imagine what it costs to fill this up every time you pull into a gas station?
Gallons to the mile.
Yeah, you're not thinking about mileage when you're driving.
No.
Like this.
No, it's an incredible.
You can't afford it.
It's a floater. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Then we have our 1969 Z28 RS. It is just coming together. This has been over a year and a half doing this build. It's a 302 4-speed car. We're bringing everything back to the way it would have rolled out of the factory, with the new vinyl roof, the Hugger orange paint, the stripe package on it. There's a few little things on it that aren't quite factory. The intake on this one's a little bit different, but the interior wise on this one, it's all going back to the white interior. Everything on it is just beautiful. This car is going to be so sexy, so sexy.
Already looking pretty good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And what else we got?
Well, we got one of my. I love these cars. I actually owned a 72 Camaro. This is a 70, I believe it's a 73, and it's a Z28 Camaro. It's just come in for some a little bit of work, some touch-ups, some blow-ins. It's its first time here, so we're going to go around it and we're going to assess it, see where the money needs to be spent on it, and get it back to him so he can drive it this summer. You know, the iconic rear end on these ones was, you know, it's 70 to 73 with the lights on the back this way. You know, they have the reverse lights built into here, and they're quite the car, and they're the last of the chrome bumper ones as well for these. Afterwards, they went to the rubber bumpers, but it's a neat little car, a little 4-speed. It's got a few tricks under the hood. That's right. Yeah. Just pull hard enough.
Pardon me?
Yeah. And it's a 383 stroker. So that's a 350 with a 400 crank, board 30 over. It's got some headers. He's got you know, a few little things underneath there to make them go quick, fast, and in a hurry. But
so
it's
the next stop lights?
Yeah, or next gas station.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah, and yeah, so this one's a kind of a neat little car. Big fan of them. We're going to change out the hood. He's not a big fan of this style hood on it, and we're going to put a steel hood on it. This one's a fiberglass that somebody put on before he bought it. And then we have over here, this is a 1980 Lincoln Mark VI. The gentleman's owned it since he was well, he bought it brand new.
Oh, single owner.
Yeah, single owner. He's owned this, driven it a little bit. And we've done some upgrades on it, some repairs, get it ready for him to take out and enjoy again this summer. There wasn't much driving done in it over the last few years, so we had to go through and do some front end work, get it all safe. We actually did fix his 8-track tape player. It was the motor was just sticky, so we could take it apart, clean it, lube it, and now his 8-track is working again.
Wow, that's probably a big relief for him.
Yeah, and most of the time, oh, the 8-track doesn't work. Well, 8-track, all it is a little belt drive motor, and that's what it runs. So we can fix that up for him, and now he's ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go on eBay to try to find 8-track.
He's got a bunch in the trunk.
Oh, okay.
So then we got our 46 Chevy 1-ton. It's a few years in the making, bringing this one together. This frame has been all redone. The motor has been rebuilt. Everything has been put back in and detailed. The cab is going together. We just put the box sides on the other day. And next thing on the list is to start getting the wood floor in, put the inner fenders in, and start getting the back end finished off so that we can get the interior in. The upholstery work's been done. We're just waiting to put that in because the fuel tank has to go under the seat. So, yeah, it sits right underneath the seat, and once the fuel tank's in, the fuel lines are run, then the rest of the interior will go together. This
looks like a labor of love.
This is a gorgeous truck. It's going to be one of the nicest 46s around once it rolls out of here.
All right.
It's a beauty.
Well, thanks for giving us the tour.
No problem.
And we'll be back again during the week, end of the week, for some updates, see how things are progressing.